Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm your host, Mr. Katona, and this is Katona's Tutoring and Success. I apologize about my voice. I have a little cold, so I might sound a little bit more nasally. But without further ado, today's video we are going to go over exponent rules. Now, there are three big rules when we're talking about exponents. We have the product rule, the quotient rule, the power rule. In today's video, we are going to specifically look at the product rule and the quotient rule. I will make a separate video on the power rule at a later date. Now, let's get started. Looking at the product rule, there are three big steps when working with the product rule. The first step is to multiply the coefficients. In case you're not aware of what the coefficients are these numbers right in front of the variable. So 7 and 3. Now, once you multiply your coefficients with your exponents, you're going to add them. Now keep in mind, you can only add exponents of the same base. So because both the 7 has an n and the 3 has an n, the exponents 4 and 2 can be added because they both are for n. If this was m and this was n, we couldn't do that. So let's look at the first example. If I look at my rules, the first step is to multiply the coefficients. So I'm going to multiply 7 and 3, which gives me 21. Then I'm going to take n to the fourth and n to the second, and I'm going to add them, which will give me 6. So my answer is going to be 21 n to the 6. And that is completely simplified. There's nothing else that I can do. That's essentially what you're supposed to do with the product rule. If I look at example number 2, you can tell here I have two different bases, P and Q, and I have two coefficients. So what I'm going to do is first multiply my coefficients, 3 times 4, which should give me 12. Then I have P to the first power. I'm going to just say this. Obviously, you should know a little bit about exponents before this video. But if you have a P by itself, you can assume that the exponent is 1. Or if you have any base by itself, you can assume that the exponent is 1. So P to the first power times P to the third power. With exponents with the same bases, when I multiply, I add my exponents. So P to the 1 times P to the 3 should give me 1 plus 3, which would be P to the 4. Then I look at my second base, Q. I have Q to the third times Q to the second, which should give me Q to the fifth. So my answer is 12 P to the fourth, Q to the fifth. Now, if I look at example number 3, I can see that there are negative numbers. The negatives don't matter. We're going to carry on normally. So negative 3 times negative 4, negative times negative is a positive, 3 times 4 is 12. So I have positive 12. R to the first times R to the fifth should give me R to the sixth. X to the second times X to the second should give me X to the fourth. And T to the second times T to the 1 should give me T to the third. Now notice, I cannot combine unlike terms. If my bases are not the same, I cannot add their exponents. So notice I cannot combine or simplify any further from this point. And that's essentially product rule. Multiply my coefficients and add the exponents of the same bases. And that is the product rule. Now, my quotient rule is like the product rule, but for division. So the first step is I divide my coefficients The second step is I subtract the exponents of the same bases. Third step is to simplify, but usually it's simplified. So let's look at our first example here. A to the third, h to the fourth, a to the first, h to the second. There are no coefficients, so again, like with exponents, we can assume that a 1 is in front of my bases. So all I have to worry about now is subtracting the exponents because my coefficients are 1. A to the third divided by a. That should give me 3 minus 1, so a to the second. I have h to the fourth divided by h to the second, numerator divided by denominator, 4 minus 2, h to the second. So my final simplified answer is a to the second, h to the second. Now, example number 2, same idea. I have no coefficients, so I'm not going to divide the coefficients. Instead, I'm going to subtract the bases of the same, or I'm going to subtract the exponents of the same bases. X to the third over x to the second gives me 3 minus 1, or just x. 3 minus 2, or just x. Y to the fifth divided by y to the first should give me 5 minus 1, or y to the fourth. So that's my simplified answer. Lastly, for example number 3, I have 3 different variables, so 3 different bases with different exponents, but again, no coefficients. My coefficients are 1. Now, k to the fourth divided by k to the second should give me k to the second. M to the 9 divided by m to the third should give me m to the 6. And p to the second divided by p to the first should just give me p. So my simplified answer is k to the second, m to the 6, p. Now, the quotient rule can become more complex as we add coefficients and negatives, and I could make a separate video for that if you guys would like. So please, in the comments section below, tell me if you would want to see a quotient rule video that dives deeper. This is kind of just a review of the product rule and the quotient rule and what to do when you multiply and divide exponents. Now, be sure to check out the next video when I go over raising an exponent to an exponent, or that third rule, the power rule. And also, I could always make a video that goes deeper into the quotient rule. But that's going to do it for today. If you could please subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you like the video, leave a like. And if you have any other suggestions for videos that you would like to see, please leave a comment. Have a great day.